The rain tasted like rust and regret. It plastered my fedora to my scalp and slicked the alley slicker than a politician's promises. My name's Jack Rourke, and I'm a private investigator. I specialize in finding things people don't want found, and sometimes finding them finds you. This case was one of those times. It started with a dame. Naturally. A redhead, naturally. Name of Lila Monroe. She walked into my office, ochres and crimson lipstick, smelling of expensive perfume and desperation. Said her husband, Arthur Monroe, had disappeared. Arthur was a numbers runner, a small cog in the city's vast, illegal gambling machine. Lila claimed he's gone off the grid, but I smelled a different kind of vanishing act. He wouldn't just leave, she said, her voice trembling slightly. He loved his work. He was good at it. Good at it meant he knew where the money went, and who was collecting it. That made him a liability. The cops, predictably, weren't interested. Another lowlife gone missing. Let the vultures peck at the bones. That's what they said. Lila wasn't interested in his sentiment. She paid my retainer and I started digging. My first stop was the Crimson Canary, a nightclub where Arthur spent a lot of his time. It was a den of vice and shadows, where fortunes were won and lost with a flick of the wrist. I spoke to Benny the Bird Morty, the club's owner, a beefy guy with eyes like a shark and a smile that never quite reached them. Arthur? Yeah, I knew him, Benny grunted, polishing a glass with unnecessary force. Quiet guy. Kept to himself. He owed me a few bucks. Did he mention anything about trouble? I pressed. Eddie chuckled. A dry, unpleasant sound. Trouble finds everyone, Rourke. It's part of the business. He wasn't telling me everything. I could feel it in the air, thick as the cigarette smoke. My investigation led me deeper into the city's underbelly. I visited smoky back rooms, interrogated nervous informants, and dodged the watchful eyes of the local mob. I learned that Arthur wasn't just running numbers. He was skimming the cut for himself, and he's been playing a dangerous game. He's been playing with Sal the Shark Moretti, Benny's older brother, and the undisputed king of the city's gambling operations. Sal didn't take kindly to anyone messing with his money. I found Arthur's apartment a small, cramped place in a rundown building. It was clean, almost too clean. No signs of a struggle, no personal belongings missing. It was as if he's planned his disappearance. On the kitchen table I found a photograph. It was a picture of Arthur and a woman I didn't recognize. She was blonde with ice blue eyes and an air of quiet confidence. On the back of the photograph, a single word was written: Isabelle. Isabelle. A name buzzed in my head. Who was she? What was her connection to Arthur? Following a hunch, I tracked down Isabelle's address. It led me to a luxurious penthouse overlooking the city. The doorman, a hulking figure in a crisp uniform, recognized my name. Mr. Rourke, Miss Dubois is expecting you. Isabelle Dubois was everything the photograph suggested: elegant, sophisticated, and undeniably alluring. She greeted me with a polite smile, and led me into a lavishly decorated living room. Mr. Rourke, I'm surprised you found me. Arthur spoke highly of you. Arthur also mentioned you, I replied, my eyes scanning the room. He seemed quite fond of you. Isabelle's smile faltered slightly. Arthur was a complex man. He had a way of attracting attention. He was skimming money from Salvatore Moretti, I said bluntly, and now he's disappeared. Do you know where he is, Miss Dubois? She sighed as if the question was an unwelcome burden. Arthur got in over his head. He thought he could outsmart Salvatore. He was wrong. Where is he? He's on the Sea Serpent Asterisk, she said softly, heading for Havana. Why? He planned to start over. A new life, far from here. Who helped him? She hesitated, a gaze drifting towards a rain-streaked window. Someone close to Salvatore. Someone who wanted him gone. She named Victor Rossi, Salvatore's right-hand man. Rossi was known for his ruthless efficiency and unwavering loyalty. I left her penthouse with more questions than answers. Arthur was on a ship to Havana, aided by one of Salvatore's men. It was a carefully orchestrated escape, but why? I confronted Victor Rossi at his usual haunt, a dimly lit pool hall where he spent his evenings playing billiards. He didn't deny knowing about Arthur's departure. Arthur was a loose end, he said calmly, chucking his cue stick. Someone had to tie it up. Did you help him escape? I pressed. He shrugged. Let's just say I facilitated a relocation. Why? Salvatore wanted him gone. And I do what Salvatore says. Who ordered it? I asked. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to, he said, his eyes cold and menacing. I knew then that I was getting close to the truth. Too close. I returned to Lila Monroe, intending to tell her what I'd learned. But when I arrived at her apartment, I found the door ajar. Inside, the scene was chaotic, furniture overturned, shattered glass everywhere. Lila was gone. A note lay on the kitchen counter, scrawled in hurried handwriting he knows. Run. Salvatore, he knew about Arthur's scheme, about Lila's involvement. He was closing in. I realized I'm not just investigating a disappearance anymore. I'm caught in a web of deceit, betrayal, and murder. I'm racing against time to find Lila, expose Salvatore, and unravel the truth behind Arthur's vanishing act. I knew Salvatore would be expecting me. I went to the Crimson Canary. The club was buzzing with activity, the air thick with music and the scent of illicit pleasures. I found Salvatore at his usual spot, a plush velvet booth, overlooking the dance floor. Rourke, he greeted me with a sardonic smile. Always poking your nose where it doesn't belong. Where's Lila? I demanded. He chuckled. Lila is unavailable. She made some bad choices. You took her, I accused. She's safe, he lied. Just keeping her for a while, to ensure your cooperation. You think you can intimidate me? I challenged. I know you, Rourke. You're a sentimental fool. You care too much. You'll do anything to protect those you care about. He was right. I did care, and that was his weakness. As he spoke, I saw a figure emerge from the shadows. It was Isabelle Dubois. She walked towards us, her face pale and resolute. Salvatore, she said, her voice trembling but firm. It's over. She pulled out a small, pearl-handled revolver and pointed it at him. What are you doing, Isabelle? Salvatore roared, shocked and enraged. Helping you in your own twisted reign, she said, her finger tightening on the trigger. Before I could react, a shot rang out. Salvatore slumped back in his booth, a crimson stain blooming on his chest. Isabelle dropped the gun, her face a mask of despair. I did it for Arthur, she whispered. He trusted me, and I betrayed him. She's been playing a double game all along, manipulating both Arthur and Salvatore, using them to achieve her own ends. The police arrived, sirens wailing, the flashing lights illuminating the chaos. As they led Isabelle away, she looked at me, her eyes filled with a mixture of regret and defiance. He was a pawn, she said softly. We all are. The rain had stopped. The city was quiet, but the shadows lingered. I stood there, alone in the aftermath of the storm. The case was closed, but the questions remained. Arthur was gone, Lila was missing, Salvatore was dead, and Isabelle was in jail. I was left to pick up the pieces, to navigate the treacherous landscape of a city where loyalty was a luxury and betrayal was a way of life. The taste of rust and regret lingered on my tongue. It was another case closed, another layer of darkness revealed, and I knew, with a chilling certainty, that the next one was already waiting just around the corner.